Dashaun, don't worry about it. We'll make sure you're good. But I'm a smart black gay man. You know, I know my worth. I know my value. I know my understand who I am and what I've done for my community.
You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta sweat
What's
that.
going on, y'all? Welcome back to Mic'd Up on a Tuesday. Today we have a very, very special guest. I love him so much, y'all, and I know y'all do too. Dashaun Wesley.
What's poppin'?
Of the House of Basketball.
Oh, yeah, all that jazz.
All that jazz. Oh my God, Dashaun, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm a little bit jet lagged. I'm working it out right now.
Baby,
You know,
Dashaun be
I'm
working.
different.
And especially this Pride Month.
Ciao. I already did something at Pride in New York City recently, and it was really fun. But listen, as long as we still got the things that keep going.
And as long as they still calling, okay? Let them, and I'm going to answer when they do. Dashaun, where did we meet? Do you remember where we met?
Oh my God. I you know what? A while back, I tried to look back to see where did we meet, right? I can't recall.
Me neither.
But I can recall something that'll bring us to a spot, right? I remember many moons ago in New York City, we danced with BB Zahara Benet, remember?
Shout out to the days, for real. Like, shout out to the days. The girl's been building for real.
Yeah, I still got the photo too, by the way, of us as kittens. It was, mind you, it was me, you, and Julio too.
Oh
in
my
the mix
God.
in New York City.
Doing a club show, I'm sure.
Doing a club show.
Yo, we were crazy. We were just crazy. We just wanted to dance.
Yeah, we just wanted to dance.
That's it. I love that. Oh my God, shout out to that.
Oh my God. So that was like back in like, oh my God, XL days. So that was like 2000s and like 12.
Had to be 2012, 2013 type.
Yeah.
Literally not even old enough to really be in the club and shaking ass like
Mind
that.
you. And I also went back to our friendship to go see our conversation when it started. I think I put a post on your page that says clear his throat.
Please.
And we had a whole full.
Oh my God, before people being shady on Facebook.
Yes.
That was the
yes.
real
And that
days.
was in 2011. Dang. We go back, Stink.
That's shout out to that. Okay, so born and raised in New York.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. How was growing up in New York?
It was real challenging in the beginning as a kitten, right? But I guess for me, I came out very young at like 14.
Really?
Yeah, I found like the West Village, and I was out there like 14 years old. But I'm glad I had people around me that was guiding me in a good space. But you know, I guess in the beginning it was difficult because I had the family who wasn't too informative about the whole gay stuff. But I was black and gay and proud since I came out the womb.
Wow.
So, literally at 14, I came out to my family and I like literally was being my authentic self. Now, some may not have agreed.
Right.
But like, you know, I know my family have conversations now of like, I didn't know what it got here. And I was like, well, bitch, you should have listened.
You should have listened. Yeah, it's like, and what's your nationality?
Oh my gosh, should I go back like that?
Yeah.
So, you know, I got a Jamaican father up in the mix.
That's what I was going to ask because I know how them Caribbeans be, boy.
Got a Caribbean man in life. So, you know, my mom is, you know, she's American. She's a black woman from the South.
Yeah.
But family from the South. So,
right.
But was here in New York City for many, many, many moons. So, I have that Caribbean situation mixed up. And, you know, it pops out here and there.
When it needs to.
I mean, when it's on the cheekbone, so I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. So you'll hear my you know, accent pops out here and there.
I hear it.
Yeah.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Like, so coming out at 14, obviously, like the world is your oyster. Because let's be real, you did something that so many people are so scared to do even now. Let's be real. So what was like the next step then after coming out?
Well, for me, I funny thing enough, I was dancing before then. Before I came out, I was dancing. Now, you know how we have the project days in New York City and they like to do celebrations. So I was a part of a group that used to come together every year.
Y'all used to be up there. The project groups in New York, baby.
That all-star dancing.
Rhythm City, all of y'all,
I used to be one of those.
Shout out to y'all.
So I did that. And, you know, honestly, the first day I went to the West Village at 14 years old, I seen voguing.
Stop. At 14?
At 14.
And you're literally one of those kids, like, bright-eyed, like, what is this?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God, I love that.
If I can tell you, I used to talk to just about everybody in the village just walking down Christopher Street because I was just so like, oh, my God, this is so new. Hi, y'all. What's up, y'all? But I found out voguing at 14 when I went out there. So I went the next day and I seen it again. And then I seen my favorite femme queen performer. I didn't know what it was.
Right.
But then once I learned the info, I was like, oh, no, I got to be in this
team.
world. So actually,
obsessed.
So interesting enough, I was like experiencing the culture when it was underground and not mainstream as it is now. So, you know, you had to find a flyer from a friend or somebody invited you. But like, I got into that world and I was able to make friends and make shminemies.
Yes, yeah, it'd be like that for real.
And rivals and stuff.
Oh
so I just, after there, I just kept going, and wherever my heart felt, you know, that this was the right place, right time, I kept going, and I never looked back. And one thing that always fooled me is like when I was doing, as I was voguing and trying to go to auditions and stuff like that, on my resume, we were specialty, and I didn't feel like I was a specialty because my style and our style exists. So I always want to put like voguing on my resume, my dance resume.
Yeah,
it was really difficult. It was difficult years ago, but now I was able to put voguing on my resume. So,
I mean, you were there with us in the New York days. No shade, and this is real tea. They didn't want you to do it at the audition. They wanted you to be the boy.
Yes,
and that was it.
I wasn't the boy like that.
Hey,
oh yeah, so
that's so funny. I was
just happy that I can put voguing on my resume and be booked for that.
Highlighted too, as you should be. It's a skill. Not only is it a skill, it's an art form. It's a skill, and it's hard as shit.
Yeah, it really is.
That shit is no hard.
Oh, it really ain't.
Please. So that's a really good point. So scene versus class. Where do you? Is there a benefit to going to class for Vogue? Is there a benefit for just immersing yourself in the scene?
That could be a broad conversation. You know what I mean? I only say that because there's a benefit to have the class, but I'm always saying who's teaching you and why they're teaching you. If you have someone from the community teach you, we're teaching you about our experience, our next steps, or how to play political in this ballroom space.
Right.
We have some people who just like Vogueography and they just want to Vogue because they think it's really cool, but don't want to be a part of the competition part. So it takes for us to even figure out how to maintain that
your space
difficulty that goes on, because we now have people who are not even in this community teaching classes, and I'm not scared to pull up. So when I see people, I'm like, all right, so what's up, girl? You teaching Vogue? And when's the last ball you went to?
What the hell is going on?
Baby, it's a couple of folks in LA I had to go to. I'm like, I see you voguing, babe, but if you're going to be doing this, come to this community. Come to this scene.
Because y'all don't play that over there.
We don't.
Not at all.
And they join.
And they came.
And they came.
With the girls who know, obviously the girls know that they know, but like, what do you feel about gay culture being as trendy as it is now? And I mean to the point where straight men are now using our lingo. My gosh. It's kind of insane.
I even go back to when I was younger and used to, how if you had a comfortable family or somebody, a friend who had a comfortable family, you'll see that one tradie boy that be using things. I was like, whoa.
What did you say?
One of the trade boys, one of the, the guys, the straight guys over in the family who's really cool with everybody. He's like, using no shade. And you're like, excuse me? But I think it gagged us so much now that it's become a part of the conversation.
Wholeheartedly a part of the conversation.
I'm confused. I had to even address something about Clock That Tea online.
Oh my God, I love when y'all did that, because I remember seeing that shit, even to the point of which finger to use.
Yes.
It was everything.
Yes, and we are real specific. And like I said, we've been doing this way before I've been
years.
But, it's just, I guess we see how people love the energy of what we deliver with our lingo.
Yeah.
And it's either we have to check it. 1, 2, 4, 3. And make sure it's at least stay in the right space as it's being delivered. Because I've seen a clip of some straight men just talk about their favorite gay lingo, and it's such a key.
I was dying. I was dying.
Live for when they use it right, and they like, yo, blah, blah, blah. But I guess we just have to make sure we maintain our lingo, because it could be fun or just get more creative.
Yeah, exactly. We'll make up some new shit. Okay, so let's talk career stuff. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back first. ABDC, Vogue Evolution. Yeah, wow. Let's start there.
I haven't talked about Vogue Evolution.
Of course you haven't. And exactly. That's why. First of all, let's just talk about that. Bringing that to that platform. You were, I think, the only ones, the whole show that ever brought that, right? I think y'all were.
We were the only team
that brought that. What was that experience like? I mean, you were so young.
I can tell you one thing I laugh at today is that when I go back to the clips and look at the judges, they just look so like how do we adjust this? That was some cool steps, man. You know, that was really good.
I like when I do that thing on the
when y'all do that thing.
thing.
And, and Little Mom she was the homegirl from around the way who just knows she got a couple of friends who did it too, so she can. But I can say this: it took us. We got on a season 4. It took us literally like 2 seasons before that to try to get on the show.
Wow.
We tried season 2, didn't make it. Tried season 3, didn't make it. So they let us in on season 4.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that. And was it like a audition, like a sending a tape, or you had to live audition?
No, we had live audition.
Period.
So literally we came together as a team and created some choreography. Like one of the seasons that we tried, we had about like 8-9 people. And, we shortened it for our team when we did a season 4. But live audition, you audition in front of everybody. Oof. You coming up with choreography on the spot for auditions, and they had us going through it. But
I'm sure
they lived for us a little bit.
No, I remember everyone lived for y'all, and it was so necessary for us, people like me at home, to see that on TV, because it's like, this is where it should be. This is the platform it should have.
It's shocking enough. I still run into folks. They're like, "Oh my God, I remember ABDC." I'm like, "Oh wow, ABDC, that is something." But we had a great time on that show. Okay, I want to tell one quick little thing about ABDC, right? When we first got on the show, you know how like you fly to LA, flying to LA, Los Angeles, staying at that hotel in Burbank, getting on the show.
Going over there.
So we're there, and of course, we're the only
girls.
We're the girls. Yeah. We got a doll in our group. We got the girls here. So we come and see all the other groups at the same time. We all coming in. Everybody's all dressed in dance gear, and we are dressed like we're going to the next club.
Major.
And we're inside in the room sitting up, and everybody like, the hell are y'all doing? And we boots, glasses, painted rings, all that jazz. We were done up, and they were looking at us like, who the hell are y'all? But after that show, we created so many friendships and friends. So
that's so cool.
And it was just a gag to see how people acknowledged us when we were on that show.
And probably the producers, who probably didn't even know what to do with y'all. They were probably gagged every day.
Stories on top of stories that will shock everyone of how the treatment was, because they didn't know how to either communicate with us, or we had to check them, because we're ballroom girls too, so we was checking a lot of
And were y'all all from New York?
Yeah.
Period. All in New York? Please, John, please.
You know what we give.
Okay. Now the Wiz Live. Let's talk about that. Gorgeous again. How was that process?
That process was fun. Yeah. I guess when you bring in your originality and your authentic self to a space, and they're asking for what you can do to be creative. I think what I love so much about Vogue is that when we go into these spaces, when we're doing gigs or whatsoever, and they're like, "Can you guys create?" Love it.
Yes, you would rather that.
Yeah, because I can come up with something, know, but I also know that, Carlos over here got something he can add on to this. I'm like, oh my God, yes, that works out fine.
Period.
So I love when we go into these spaces. So for the Wiz Live, we all came up with it with ourselves for our voguing part. So it was nerve-wracking because you was doing it live. So if you messed up, it's on television forever. And I remember they're like, it's live, and we're standing behind the stage, and I'm like, okay, so
here we go.
Here we go, Dashaun. Don't mess up.
Yeah.
And
for y'all at home who don't know those live, remember the live, like Mary Poppins, all those stuff. Those are literally live. Like, it's like Broadway on crack, basically.
Like as y'all watching it on TV, we're there in the studio. So I mean, we did have fun with all the stars. Yeah. I got to meet everybody. I got to meet Queen Latifah, David Allen Greer. Like it was so much fun. But they also embraced us as well too, because we're ballroom girls, so we go into a space. We got this energy
people
about us.
Live for y'all, like please.
We got our lingo, our talk. So the same thing there. That's why we have this clip that's up with me, Carlos Eric Sanchez, and Danielle. And baby,
the clip that went viral. Just y'all playing around.
We were just playing around.
No, I know. That's what irritated me. It's because I know y'all, and I'm like, they in there just fucking around. Like they're not even being serious.
And I'm sitting there commenting.
Talk about Magic Mike when you did Magic Mike.
Oh God, it's like I'm going from point to point.
Yeah. You had a fierce career, babe. So we're gonna talk about it.
Thanks. Magic Mike was fun. It was very random how
bet.
you get a call in and like, hey, we need you to fly to Savannah, Georgia. And, you know,
Why
got
all
the
movies
section.
filmed in Savannah, Georgia?
I don't know.
I don't understand that.
And that was my first time there.
Yeah.
I mean, had a blast, Savannah. I had a good time.
Yeah, Savannah, you can have a time.
I had a time by that water. No Sade. But yeah, went to Savannah and shot in we did like 2 different shots. So we shot in the club scene, and it was so interesting enough when I got there. It always shocks me at this moment because people know who you are before you get there. So before, you know, we're even starting, I'm inside the little area. You know, we're Vogue #1, Vogue 2. You know, but we get there, we sit inside the club that we're filming at, and Channing Tatum just walks up like, "Hey, Dashaun." I'm like, so when did we meet? But what's up?
What's up?
What's up? Well, like, what's good? He's like, "Hey, Dashaun, what's going on?" And like, I'm like, "Oh wow, you're Channing Tatum." Saying, "Hey, Dashaun." Like, hey, what's up? But me and Javier was there. We shot. We battled it out. They lived for it. They lived for it. And they was like, "Dashaun, we need you to grab the microphone and chant for Channing.
You have to."
Out. And I was like, "I'll do it." It was like, "Sure. Well, let's pre-record something, but let's record everything live." I was like, "Sure." It was fun, but I guess, again, being my authentic self. And that was fun to shoot.
Yeah.
Now, we did shoot a beach scene that was like late at night.
Really?
That was very unique.
Unique.
Ooh, overnight by the beach.
Cold.
You ever seen, felt like windy sand?
I hate a night shoot. I hate a night shoot.
Can't stand one.
I hate a night shoot.
Yeah, no. Definitely when it's like, you know, you're not done. It's about like 4 a.m.
And they want you to dance, bitch. I don't want to dance out here.
And the hurry up and wait is this stuff.
And then you're sitting there shivering in that little folding chair.
Baby,
Girl.
I don't know how many heat bags I had. See, that's a gig thing.
That's a gig thing for real. Okay, let's go to Pose now. It has to come back to Sean. Like, that was so. I think everyone knows the cultural impact that it had, but like you being there and like you being around it. I'll ask you this actually first. Do you think it authentically captured the scene?
Yes.
I do too.
It caught it and captured it authentically because you had folks who was from that time and era to consult, to speak, to make these scenes come true.
And it feels like they listened. You know what I mean? There ain't nothing worse than when somebody tries to make something that is a cultural specific something and they don't listen. That's the fucking worst.
They did it right. They got the folks from the community. Everyone in the audience is from the community. You have some folks who were hired as actors. You have some folks who were like the main staff there. So it was awesome to have that experience. And yeah, by the way, your Ballroom was a part of the staff as well too. Where they were producing, directing, assisting. It was so much fun to experience Pose. Yeah. I only got to experience 1 episode in season 1.
Really?
Yeah, I only did 1 episode, and that was just the very opening first episode. I was there voguing in the beginning.
That's so funny.
But after that, they didn't see it for the king of the season 1. I don't know why. But then season 2, they was like, Dashaun, listen. And I was like, I'm here for it. So,
I've been waiting.
Listen, I learned how to become a better actor by being around all these amazing folks who were there to make sure we delivered a good ballroom story that we can tell, because all those situations that happened on that show happened majority in real life.
Even the escorting and the drugs part of it and the eating disorder, like it covered everything, like real shit.
Because it happened, and even during that time to where, you know, resources wasn't as, you know, broad as it is now, it was scarce, and they did what they had to do to make it happen.
And still look fierce. I'm sorry. I think that show was so good. And I'm sorry, because I always thought that it was authentic, but I would always want to know from somebody who's in the community for real.
The way we shot everything, you know, again, I know people see Pose, right? And I think people need to understand this. Like, we do things now on tins and chops kind of basis.
Right.
Back then, they did it through numbers or whatsoever, and it was able to tell. But, like, that doesn't happen now. I have to address this quite a few times because I've been to a few gigs. Right. And like, oh, yeah, we're going to get some 7s and 8s. And I'm like, darling,
we don't do that no more.
We're going to get a big old chop, and we're going to get a 10. One lady was like, "Oh my gosh, you're so stern." I'm like, "Welcome to the community,
welcome to the
darling.
Community, babe."
No Sade. So I mean, the Pose, just to shoot it was awesome. Just to see certain examples, able to sit and be my authentic self in Vogue as well too. And it was so exciting to, see my sister Leonie as a choreographer there and also in the mix. And I was able to learn to be a badass because I was part of a badass house.
Oh, yeah, you was in that little crew.
Oh, yeah, I was the House of Wintour, yes. And then I was a con for season 3. So I was just in the mix. So
I love that. Wait, what is her name? The Electra. What is her real name?
Dominique Jackson.
Dominique Jackson.
And we know her as Tyra.
That's what. Okay, so she
know her as Tyra. You're right.
She used to run the door.
Yes, at the clubs and
yes.
Yes. So Tyra. And it's so shocking enough where people can, and that's probably why a lot of folks zoomed in from the community because they know Tyra was working a club night and she was holding Splash. I know she was there.
Splash. She's let me in like, girl, just go. So that's my dog for real.
Like. Oh my God, Tyra. And baby, it's nothing like seeing Electra deliver in person. I know on camera you felt it, but in person, child, remind me of a couple of Caribbean family members of mine who would just sit there and let you have it.
And talk about a role that is so specific for you. No one could have done that role like her. No one. I don't care what anybody said. Not the best actress in the world. It was her.
It was so her.
The shit she went through, the reads, the sentimental moments, all of it.
And sometimes I have to forget that that's not her because
this is you, right?
Oh my God. Again, we had so much fun shooting. By the way, I still give our family life the House of Wintour because we were called the One Take Wintours.
Major.
So when we were there with our lines, it would take folks a few times to shoot their things, but anytime it was like Wintours, let's go. Clip done. Oh, the Wintours done.
Yeah, we can rap.
Let's just get one off of GP. Live for it. Live for
One Take Wintours. I like that. Do you feel like there is another? Do you feel like Pose had its time and it did its purpose and it served its its thing, or do you feel like we should do another show in the same vein, or do you think we should leave it where it was and come up with something creative?
I'm on a 50-50 with the leave it where it is and let it go. But I honestly, Ballroom can continuously tell stories in many different ways. So that was a time specific show.
I think so too.
So,
like Glee.
Yes.
I don't think we should redo Glee now. I think Glee was where it was, when it was, and how it was. And I think it was perfect.
The only way that they can tell Pose again is if they switch the generation. So and you can't, the funny thing is Pose could have continued though.
Yeah.
Because we told the generation of what happens during the time we're starting. We can tell what was going on in the 90s because baby, it switched from what it was on Pose to what was going down in the 90s.
Right.
So, but
there's a whole other story.
And we can tell even 3 more generations after that. You got the 2000s, the 210s, and you also got the 220s. So
that's true. Yeah, you could.
So it's one of those. So it can continue, but like as being a timepiece, everybody.
It was so good.
As much as that show made everybody cry.
Cry.
Imagine being on set.
No, like cry. Everybody stop with this acting and all this good shit. Okay, enough. Please.
Look, at certain moments I have to go, oh my God, I am crying. This is for real. And we're shooting. We're on set. That was fun. And we would key and read each other about like, bitch, you crying this thing. Stop crying this thing, sensitive ass. But like, it was a moment.
It's like a family moment. Yeah. Amazing. Okay, now we gotta talk about Legendary. Obviously.
Come up with a complete new stunt.
And they have Leonie sitting there.
Ciao.
Let's see what the girl's gonna bring out.
They better bring.
So did you know about the show in advance? Did they just call you after it was already like?
Oh, so interesting.
You know what I mean? Like, were you a part of the creation process too?
So, yes, I'm the same. I was a part of the creation process as being a consultant with Scout Productions, right? Pose came out first. And Legendary kind of had its little topple on top of each other, by the way. So I was a little bit booked during that time, baby. You had 2 shows out. I was on Pose and had Legendary. But we were speaking and consulting with them for 2 years before the show came out. So literally it took them 2 years to come up with an idea.
HBO.
With HBO
Wow.
Max. So we got picked up by a few other, networks, but then they want to change things. And, the thing about television and how you say things, of course, is going to be different from what it is in real life because you got this much time to say it.
Literally.
And a lot of people don't understand that. So, we had to figure out ways to make this work. But some networks were like trying to change things up completely. And we were like, no. So it took 2 years for them to get it. I was originally inside the green, what's that? The green lit kind of video that they sent out prior before.
Oh, the pilot.
Pilot, excuse me. I don't know why. So wait, the pilot to be green lit. That's the thing. So I was in a pilot with everybody. Now at first they wanted me to be on as a contestant on Legendary. Yeah, and I was just like, this reminded me of doing ABDC. Yeah. And what I remember about that, y'all, I'll be fine. Yeah. I can just be a consultant, and they wanted me to be a part of it so bad. I'm like, I was getting conversations like, Dashaun, don't worry about it. We'll make sure you're good. But I'm a smart black gay man. I know my worth. I know my value. I understand who I am and what I've done for my community as a Vogue dancer. And, I can honestly say I've done things that's now allowing others to have the experience that they're having today. So when they were asking me to be a contestant, immediately ABDC popped up in my head. And I'm like, child, I don't know, Stink. Yeah. I don't know if I could do this. Yeah. Because I know what it's like to compete. I know I've been in that space. And I also said, why not give my community opportunity to have it for themselves? I had that.
I did it, yeah.
I had that. I did it already. And I don't want to experience it again. Not saying that it's a bad thing, but I just didn't want to experience it again. So I was just like, no.
And how did the hosting come along?
Child, I think I kind of said this on somebody else's podcast. But at first, again, they wanted me to be on as a contestant. They had different DJs. And again, consulting for those 2 years made sense because we were like, they're bringing up DJ names and we were like, no. That ain't gonna work. They're bringing up hosts that's like they weren't even part of Ballroom. Like y'all, child, I don't want to get red, y'all.
Because we know how that goes.
We know how that goes. Don't want to get red. Like I'm not gonna let y'all giving the community like full access
literally
to read the
ammo,
shit out of me. Like, and they don't mind.
And they gonna come to me. They're not gonna come to y'all. They gonna come to me.
Yeah, they gonna read y'all here and there, but they gonna come after me, and which I'm sure some people have because even season 1 to how season 2 switched, there was a visual switch in it. Season 1 was that time to see what we were doing to make it right, make it wrong, or figure out we can fix or do different. Season 1, I was the MC of the show. It also Jamila was the MC as well too. So, but people didn't understand that. But again, she's from this space, right? And she was teaching me the go rounds of how to host this as well too. For them for season 2, they was like, Dashaun, you could do this.
Yeah, you got it.
And
you were so natural,
baby.
You were so natural.
That teleprompter was big.
Yeah.
Baby, I was like, we're gonna do this, and it was so funny because I had that big one right there, and then right behind the judges, I had a screen right there too. So just in case I need to peek and be like, I mean, but it was fun. I was able to be myself. I was able to communicate, and then we grew a kind of like this ballroom caddy thing for television. So you were able to see us read each other and kiki and laugh about it.
That is what was so necessary, I feel like, too, is because that was so, we saw it, we felt it. And us who know, we know. But people who don't know, like I got straight friends who are like, yo, you watched Legendary last night? I'm like, I love this. Like, why not? Why not immerse yourself in a culture that's nothing like yours? That's how you learn.
Yeah, you learn so many new things and the new lingos, and that's how people were like want to snatch it on up. But we were able to to read and kiki with each other, understand what's going on, have our own opinions, agree to disagree. And it's so interesting. I wish people can see, when you're actually there shooting, because at certain points I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna have a job tomorrow, because the way they would go at it or the way I would have to step into things, the
ballroom girls got a little nasty.
Baby, ballroom girls would get nasty on stage, or the judges just feeling their moment.
Ooh. Child, when Kiki called Law tired.
That was that's because Law was going after Kiki every day on set.
You could tell. You could tell. She had it.
She had enough. And when she said, I was like, oh, mama's ready to read. Oh, she's ready to read. And Kiki know how to hold it down. So it was that moment where even after because Law is so silly.
So funny, child.
Literally, as soon as Kiki did her reading, he was trying to say something. She's like, hold up, no, because I let you speak. And then she went in and then called him tired. But then at the end, Law was like, bitch, you ate that.
You ate that? You ate that?
I fell out because it was so, that moment was real.
Real.
It was so real. And like, I know you're only going to see bits and pieces, but like Kiki said even more that made sense that we didn't have enough time to put on camera. So
I loved it. I loved it.
Legendary was very fun.
What was a favorite moment of yours like that stood out on the show?
Everything is a favorite.
I know, right?
I mean, I'm gonna say this, and I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it because I mean it, baby. Not everybody get an opportunity to be a host of a huge television show.
Hello.
So I was spoiled
with fashion.
Oh, I was being. Thank you, Eric Archibald. He like
fashions.
Eric Archibald.
And that's what I loved about it too, is that give dancers opportunities to be themselves on a high platform. We do not always have to be a contestant.
Yeah.
We do not always have to be behind the camera, like looking crazy, telling people what to do. Give the dancers the same shine you would give some random host that don't even know ballroom.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
And is these moments where I'm so happy we're able to, because I was able to even put on a performance for one of the seasons.
Oh my gosh,
you know, me and Naomi did one together, then I did the next one. But we were able to just be ourselves. Came with my own choreography. I choreographed. I visualized the whole thing. I wanted what I wanted for the stage. And we don't have moments that be like, yo, no, I need that light like this. No, I need this light like that. Turn this down. Make this green.
Because we be doing our own shit on our own budgets, on our own productions, because we love it. But let's do it on HBO,
baby. I mean, I will say another highlight for me was just like, again, meeting all the guest judges, which is celebrities who were into it. That was like, oh wow, oh you're judging, okay, I'm gagging. It was really cool and really fun.
Yeah, and being with Meg, I'm such a fan of.
She's
just so fun to be around.
Yeah, she is.
She really is. She a big old queen herself, child.
Yeah, listen, I like, she reminds me of like the girls I be around every day. The film queen girls, she catch like the mouth,
all of it.
She know how to read too.
All of it.
Don't gag, but her energy so good. I had such a great time, and anytime I see Meg, it's
always love for real,
baby.
And that's what I like about it too. Every time you see her, it's always like genuine. It never feels on no weird shit.
It's always fun. It's always a key.
What would you say the shadiest thing about Ballroom is in 2025? Like where it's at right now?
The shadiest thing right now is, I'm gonna say this. Okay, the shadiest thing right now is that they're showing love to folks that are not gonna last long in this space.
Right.
What I mean is, like, we know temporary, excitement is great. I say, for examples like this, we have our ups and downs. I'm not sure if you know about Josephine.
No.
She's just like, she comes out. Now she been trying to get this Vogue thing together for the longest, and the community be like, now we're gonna celebrate you if you're gonna do it, but one day she'll get it. She just ain't got it yet. So, and I think we just need to start celebrating when people really put the goal into it compared to those who.
And that's not a bad thing to say.
We're a big community now.
Yeah,
we're much bigger than what it was many years ago. So now people are just gonna come in with with no knowledge, just trying to jump in. And we're celebrating, and then they're not understanding the process of what it is to get there.
And then they win a couple titles, and they feel like they really did some shit.
I wouldn't be shocked if they make Josephine legendary.
I knew this boy who was like a fine boy, whatever, and he was walking. What's the one where like all the boys like walk?
Oh, Realness?
Yeah, Realness. And I mean, this man is corny. This nigga is corny. Like, no shade, he's corny. Ooh. But he was winning, and I'm like. But it's literally just because you look like a boy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, that's also crazy.
Which is quite interesting, from spectating kind of view, you can see something and the judges could see something completely opposite.
Right.
You could be there like, yo, why didn't he win?
Right.
Like, you never understand from a spectator's perspective compared to being there judging, and they see something else completely, or they're just being political.
Yeah.
So it could be one of those things. It still exists.
Where does the politics come from? Just like who like relationships and shit like that?
Or it come from anywhere. It's so crazy because, again, it comes from that.
Yeah.
It also, I would hope this doesn't exist anymore, but, girls used to sleep with each other for like situations.
For real?
Child Ballroom is serious.
For a title?
For a vote?
That's major.
Nowadays, you got people paying people for an LSS. Like, in the beginning when we call people out. Baby, if you listen,
it's out for real. Wait, so you could pay some, like, you obviously you can't pay some, but you could.
You could, child, if the commentator accept a couple dollars to call you out, child, go ahead, get your clip.
Major.
It's political. How do you go against that? I don't know. We are better than we were before because we got a lot of alliances, a lot of like groups where we're discussing things and making sure we're doing things right as our community grows so it won't get, out of hand. Yeah. So, but baby, it's still political. It's still problems. It's still tea. Is
there somebody that doesn't get the love that they deserve that you think should, like somebody in the community? Like a Vogue that you're like, this bitch is eating, but nobody sees it for her.
There's quite a few folks. And I think I can say, from the time that we've been exposing ourselves as popular Voguers and out there Voguers, now you're able to see a lot of them all over the place. All over, yeah. Some of us get the opportunity to experience something where we know we probably won't experience again. Right. Because they're once in a lifetime kind of thing. Right. Like, we performed at the Met Gala before. Major. And I'm not sure when we're going to do that. You know what again, I mean? Yeah, but to have that opportunity to experience, and there was so many great Voguers that were there. And, they may not have some of the opportunities that some are getting right now. But, when the time is due, the time is due. That's real. Like, as you asked earlier, I would say, is there going to be another Pose show? I don't know. But just like how creative with Ballroom we can get, there's always an opportunity for another show to come about. So, House of Mugler had a TV show. You had Legendary. You had How Do I Look? You had, whether even TV shows or movies like, Paris is Burning. Yeah. So and then, oh my God, there's another one or a show like not Hit the Floor. Oh my God, what is the name of that show that was out here? It was a ballroom show. When it pops up, I'll let you know. Oh, yeah. Why do I want to say Hit the Floor too, but it's not Hit the Floor. It's not Hit the Floor. It's something. I know you're talking about. But again, we have opportunities for new shows. So you just never know when something else just may pop up about us because we're able to speak for our community in many different ways. Right. In many different ways. Right.
Okay, so family life, single. Are we dating? Are we single? What are we giving?
I'm single. I'm a single man.
I feel like you're very picky.
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, that makes sense. That's why you're always so put together and you always speak so well.
Child. I'm still a Virgo. So... But yeah, I was dating a guy, you know, even while I was like shooting Legendary and stuff. But I myself can't experience things like I experienced when I was younger. So I'm a man with different needs and things that I need nowadays. Yeah. So I want to make sure that the next boyfriend I have, I'm going to like.
That's going to be the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like everyone's been saying that too. Ain't nobody trying to be doing this like play around dating no more.
Not at all. And I don't like, honestly, I realized that I have to date people now and people kind of forget that. You meet people, y'all stay around for a couple here and there, but when you are being clear about dating someone like, yo, this is what we're doing, because that boyfriend title holds a lot.
Exactly.
And definitely for me. Yeah. So we're going to date. I want to get to know you. I want to know what your likes and dislikes, what we can do and cannot do, what we need to shift or we can't shift. Because, I'm all those people. I should not be able to compromise what I got going on just for a relationship.
No. What do you feel about dating in the community? Are you like against
in the Ballroom community? Interesting. I'm not against it. I can't stand when it happens in my house. Like I don't want them to be dating each other in my house.
When your kids,
oh my God, I can't have my kids dating each other.
Oh, and I'm sure they do.
Baby, there's rules.
Sure there's
rules.
There's rules in this house.
Rules in this house. Like you can't sleep with each other. Do they still do it? You can't control
Can't control it.
But again, I just try to keep it in that space. Now, it's quite interesting because Ballroom folks date each other. I've only been one public ballroom relationship. I've dated a ballroom guy, which is a recent person, but like I've been in one public ballroom relationship once ever. Now, I just don't know. I mean, we do.
If it's right, if it feels right, it feels right.
If it feels right, it feels right.
So you're not against it? Like you're not like, I would never do it?
No, not against it. If I find somebody in the community and we decide we want to make it a thing.
Period.
I mean, you better be ready for the icon.
You better be ready,
no Sade.
Are you thinking of staying in LA? Like, is that somewhere that you want to, like, is this somewhere you want to be for a long time?
This is my 10th year.
I think too.
I ain't going nowhere.
I think too.
Now, do I want a brownstone in New York City? I'm working on it.
Period. Now we talking
I
for
want
real.
me a little brownstone out there. I'm working on that right now. But is these moments, I like LA. I've been here for 10 years strong. Me and my best friends all relocated from New York City and was like, let's get out of here. And we all lived together for like a good 2.5 years. And was like, love you. Let's live around. Yep. But I'm very proud because we still live out here in the West Coast.
Amazing.
Still live in LA. Shout out to my best friend. He got married recently.
Oh my gosh, shout out.
He found his other one.
Oh
And he got married recently. So
wait,
awesome.
was that the wedding that you in WeHo in all red?
Yep,
Matthew
and David Brandon.
Oh my God.
I was a part of their wedding party and I cried like a damn baby.
First of all, I'm in bed, y'all. Literally in bed, scrolling my phone, and I just see these gorgeous like red outfits in West Hollywood, and I'm like, what is this? Come to find out it's a wedding.
Yeah, my best friend got married. And was so interesting enough, like they did their private ceremony with the family and everything.
Right.
You know, and Hollywood Hills at this
Gorgeous.
big, huge mansion. It was beautiful. And then afterwards, you know, they had a ceremony for the public.
Major.
So, which is kind of cool and different. And by the way,
It's never happened before.
Never happened.
They
went from one club and then walked from one club to the next one to have the ceremony.
So
and
major.
then their vows were just so Butch Queen. Like, I love when Butch Queens love. How they met each other. It was such a key. And my emotional ass about to drop a tear there too.
Stop.
But I already heard it. It's
Stop. Oh my God, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
That is
Which
nice.
lets me know there's black love out there.
And you can be yourself.
Yes.
Because what I like about them too is they are authentically. When I saw what Matthew came in, why not?
Why not, right?
Why not?
Why
if
not?
If that's what you want to wear on your wedding day, why not? Fuck a society norm, fuck a whatever, fuck an opinion, wear what you want to wear, be who you want to be.
And guess what? The family
lived.
Beautiful family. Both of the families beautiful, by the way. You know, I know my best friend family, but Matthew family beautiful too. Such a beautiful private ceremony.
Yeah.
Again, my emotional ass. But yeah, it was such a good, experience. I was able to see my best friend get married. So that was very, very awesome.
And then they vogued at the ceremony as well.
Of course, I grabbed the microphone and did a little, let me see my too. You know, and funny enough, I knew Matthew when I moved out here and met him, and my best friend's my best friend. And who would have known that they would have come together and I said that.
Period.
Yeah. Of course, when we had dinner, I was like, I tried to recruit you, and you're my best friend.
If I gave you any word, could you chant?
Yes.
Any word.
Any word.
Feather.
Ooh, bitch, let me get the feather. Let me put it all down together. Ha, ha, ha. Ooh, bitch, won't you take the feather, wipe it down, let me put it together. Ha, ha.
Wait. See, let me not get started.
Listen, that's you got to be creative on the spot, baby.
That's major.
I mean,
how long? When did you start doing? Because you were probably watching people do that when you were young.
And when I told you I found out at 14, there was that commentator who used to chant.
And you were just studying.
I was just studying, like, ooh, this is what I want to do. And when I was 14, puberty switched over for me, so the voice went to here. So, and then people used to be like, you have a nice voice. I'm like, what? So literally, I'll say my first ball commentating was like in, oh gosh. Tell my age, bitch. 2003.
Major.
2003 was like the first ball I ever did by myself. Now, prior before that, I used to play around.
Yeah,
and people used to be like, you can do it. And I honestly wound up joining the rankings of commentators during that time, and it was really hard to let commentators in, but
really,
I'm Dashaun, I have charisma, personality, and voice was cool, so and I was able to be one of the ones in this community.
So the voice came after puberty, because everybody loves to talk about the voice.
I had a little high, stinky, little fishy voice.
Not fishy.
It's fishy, but as soon as puberty kicked in, I need, less bass, more trouble.
Yes, I know that's right. Any future goals that you want to do, like a dream project of yours that like you've been thinking about forever, that you're like, if money wasn't an option or time or anything like that, like what would it be?
Oh my gosh. So I have a couple of things that I always kind of aim to do. I'm kind of a goal connoisseur. I like to go in. Yeah, my Virgo ass. I like to do things and make sure I get it, and I do it. So crazy. There's a couple of things I want to do. I'm gonna name one. I want to put on a traveling ballroom show.
Major.
And what I mean about that is you're either getting houses or individuals from my community that love to perform. Yeah. We have a whole bunch of rappers, singers, poetry folks, dancers, creatives, and I believe that if we take this and package it in which it'll be amazing. I call it Vogue World, but
major.
Don't try to take my words.
Don't.
But yeah, it would go from city to city, and I can even go to those cities and grab up those house members and grab up those performers from those cities rather than having someone go,
get some locals too.
Yeah, get some locals from my community because we're in every city right now. To be honest, not everyone in the world. We're working on it, but we're in a lot of cities.
Yeah.
And again, one of my goals is to travel the world. I'm doing that still to this day.
Yeah.
And so on top of that, it's now my goal is to make sure they know the right things as they're doing it. They know it, but it's crazy. But I want to put on that Vogue show.
That would be major.
Travel the world. You'll get to see productions. You'll see a house come together and perform. You'll be able to see the amazing singers that we have in our community.
Yeah, I love it. All right, now we have a segment called Finish the Lyric, where I asked Dashaun a lyric and he's got to finish it. I think you got it, though.
You want to read me? I'm going to let you know. I only know a little bit of Beyonce lyrics and Cisco. Everything else, I make up my own words, and my friends will tell you. So, finish the lyric is going to be like, guess the lyric, okay? Okay, I'm ready.
All right, we got it. So, I can't sing it because then you'll know it, but no matter what people say, you know it.
I know. No matter what people say, we got it going on.
No cares about what they think. Shake your body to the rhythm. Gotta do it.
I didn't know the rest, but I know a little situation. Okay. That was cool.
You got that one.
Okay.
You got that one.
If you'd have been quiet and asked me to finish it, you probably would have kikied at me.
Now we have a segment called Spill the Tea, where I asked Dashaun some tea.
Okay.
And he tells me, is it tea or not tea? Okay, I need to talk about that Tiffany Haddish moment on Legendary. That was that as cringy for you as it was like for us?
Just like you see it on TV.
That was a lot.
Imagine it in person.
That was a lot.
And I got this ear fob, and this is going on. They like, Dashaun, Dashaun, something got to be done. And it was just that moment back and forth, because it was, I get it, it was a ballroom moment that they had their little situation. I guess child, it's those judges. They should have never put anything in those black cups. That's spilled the tea. That's why that happened.
Because there was tea.
It wasn't water in those black thingamajigs they had by their tables. So this is why the judges will be turned.
Cutting up, child.
Baby.
And she had already had a little situation at the airport. Remember, she had just had a little situation.
Yes.
Before she got on that show.
And literally came, and it's so interesting how a celebrity will come and they'll have that little moment that's so interesting. Tiffany's was like, that one was real stern.
No one will forget that.
The tea was inside that black cup. They had something that got them to that space.
Okay.
And it wasn't juice.
Wow.
Maybe mixed with it.
Y'all handled it really well, though, honestly. Because what else can you do? It's it's the TV.
When you're sitting there for hours. No, Sade.
I love it. Now we have a segment called Ask Dexter, where Dashaun's going to ask me some questions, and I have to answer honestly.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So for your show, right? Because I was watching your show. Who the hell did your hair?
Oh, my God.
It was... Now, Dexter, I've known you for a long time. No shade, you've had some hairstyles.
Yeah.
You've had some hairstyles even when we were younger.
Yeah,
no
right?
shade.
Oh, my God.
But the volume, the beauty, and the different hairstyles that you had, whether it was a braid, whether it was like these two situations, or whether it was blown out. Who did your hair?
Okay, so... Funny story. Do you know Tiger? Do you remember Tiger?
Oh, yes.
Tiger. So Tiger, one of my really, really good friends, I told him when we just got the show.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, so you know how in Real Housewives, in all of their confessionals, they always have I was like, that's what I want. I didn't know what the show was going to be. I didn't know what we was going to be doing, but I did know I wanted my hair to look, because Dashaun, the first thing they go after us with is how we look.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Especially us. Yeah, child, get that queen out of there. She looks so lace, she's so tired of that. So I said, I want every edge to be slicked. Like, I was so particular about that. So he was at my house every morning before we shot. I was at his house. He would come to set. It was a thing. They were talking about, we're going to talk about some serious ass shit today. I said, yeah, that's cool. Make sure my ponytail is slick.
Baby, if I wanted to watch the next episode just to see what your hairstyle was, right? Because it was just the vibe of it. And I guess you're right about that conversation, having issues of, this black hair conversation. Oof. I know black women has it as well too. Black men has it too on sets where, man, I had to go and... So on set, I needed a barber and I needed a hairstylist. I need a barber. And some people didn't understand the idea of me needing a barber and a hairstylist. They got me the hairstylist. It's like, oh, she can't cut your hair.
Of course she can't.
No.
She's not a barber.
She's not a barber. She's a hairstylist. So
Like-
I had to fight for those things in order to make sure my hair was at least really good. So I'm with you about. So that's why I was so into it with your hair. Because I know what I was.
You get it. You know. Ashley Everett told me she had to do her own wash and go on set because they didn't know how to deal with curly hair. Crazy.
I mean, blessing number one to be the makeup artist.
Period.
Who taught me how to do my makeup, and also friends who taught me how to keep my hair or upkeep it. But again, the demand for what you need while being on the show.
While being on the show.
Lived for
Thank you,
your
Fred.
hair. Okay.
Thank you, Fred.
Another question?
Yeah, you got one
Okay,
more.
great. My next question is, what was it like for you? Because, you're originally from Florida, correct?
Miami, yeah.
Okay. What was it for you to go from city to city to see the dance life that goes on between Florida to like a New York City? I'm not sure if you moved somewhere else in between that, but in LA, because I know we was in New York City for a little bit. So,
Going up.
So what was it like as a dancer in the space of being in Florida, being in New York, and being in LA?
So I'll be honest with you. As a dancer in Miami, I only did one job as a dancer in Miami when I was in high school. When I was 16. I did Chris Brown, the Kiss Kiss video.
Oh.
That was my first job.
You was in Kiss Kiss. I love that video.
Love that video. Literally the best time of my life. But Miami is a very racist city when it comes to black dancers. It's a big Latin community down there.
Yeah.
So you're not getting hired as a black dancer. And that's even to this day.
Yeah.
No shade.
Yeah.
So then moving to New York where it's like
cultural soup.
I'm in Jonte's class, and then I'm in Cheryl's class, and I'm in Rhapsody's class, and then I'm dancing with a drag queen, and then I'm like dancing with Bam Bam and the niggas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was everything I needed.
Yeah.
It was every pot that needed to be watered and everything that needed to be fulfilled for me that I didn't get in Miami.
Yeah.
I got a good foundation in Miami of what I want to do and how I want to do this. And even working with Chris Brown, like, I got to be around like legendary ass people on that job.
Yep.
So then I was like, okay, this is something that can be real. Let me go to a city where they do it for real. And that was New York. And then after New York with Broadway and all that stuff, that's kind of where I left off in New York on Broadway. And then I was like, it was a time that everybody was moving to LA.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was moving. It was like, we all out. So
Yeah.
I was like, let's just go. And who knows, you know.
When did you move to LA?
2014.
Oh my God, you came a year before me.
Yeah, 14.
Oh my God, I came in 2015.
Yep, 14.
OMG.
It was right after we closed the Broadway show, and everybody was moving, like Denzel, Brandon O'Neal,
Yes,
everybody. And I
yes,
was like, well, girl, me
everybody's
too. I'm not staying over here.
So
yeah.
funny you name the names. I'm like, yes, they moved to y'all, right? Yes. We all got the hell out of New York.
We got the hell out. Somebody said we getting out, and we did.
No shit. I mean, but I'm happy for us.
So
We're
happy.
doing
I mean, look at the roster of the people who came from New York who are out here now, what they're doing. Please.
I was just telling like someone I just met recently while I was outside. He was like, it's a lot of New York City folks. And I'm like, yo, we kind of all know each other a little bit too.
And we've known each other for a while.
Yeah, and
a while.
I'm happy for the ones who stayed and
know.
pushed it through.
I know.
You know, it's very difficult in LA, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know.
We stayed through COVID.
I mean, no shot.
We stayed through COVID, babe.
Listen, if you could do that, you'll be fine.
You can make it anyway.
No Sade.
So usually we play a segment called Slay or Nay, but since Dashaun's here, I want to play Smash or Pass.
Oh, I haven't smashed or passed in a while.
Okay, first one, Idris Elba.
Smash.
Smash. Smash.
It's the voice for me too.
Oh,
so.
what? And then when you found out he was British?
Yo, when you match the voice, yeah.
Please.
Please.
A$AP Rocky.
A$AP Rocky. He's a smash.
He's a smash. He's so handsome.
Smash. He's a very handsome
And great
man.
fashion.
Yo, it's, because I had to go back and he is such a clean looking man. Gorgeous. Spray.
All of it.
All of it. It's
All
just
of it.
That,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum.
I'm a pass.
You gonna pass on Chan?
I mean, we can play hand performance, but you know, that's just about it. No tea. No tea.
Gunna.
Ooh.
And now remember, Gunna got fined.
I know.
He started working out.
I know. Listen, I ain't into the trade. You know, I mean, we can have fun, but I ain't into the trade. I live for me a butch queen. I live for a butch queen.
So, Lil Nas X.
Okay. I have to tell it like this. He's like my little brother. I can't even answer that.
Yeah, and you know
I can't
him.
even answer that. I can't even answer that.
Fair,
you know?
fair.
Live for him.
Zac Efron.
I'm playing in it. I'm playing in it. Did I just say that? But I'm playing in it? I'm playing in it. I mean, is there something in between of a smashing Pats? You know, okay, we can do hand performance.
Yeah, we can do hand performance. I like that. I'm actually starting to say
a lot of people don't know. You don't have to do all this. We can do hand performance. Oh God, just stole it about my tea. Oh, we could do hand, but listen, we don't have to do that. We have to do this, but we can do hand performance. You can stay on your side, I can stay on mine.
Hi, I live for that. Okay, so wait. So since you said you like butch queens,
yes.
Let's also explain to the audience what a butch queen is, because I think with the lingo being spread around, people need to know the real tea. What is a butch queen?
Oh, I love me a natural gay man.
Yes.
I love me a comfortable, confident gay man. I'm not saying that everybody's not like that. I just love me a comfortable, confident gay man. You know, I don't care about the femininity or the masculinity. I just love me a gay man.
Just him being himself.
Him being himself.
I love that. Okay, we got two more. The Rock.
The Rock. I'm smashing.
Smashing.
Yeah, I'm smashing.
Gotta.
I'm nervous. A lot of muscle.
But I mean, I feel like it'd be a good time.
See, I'm looking up. Yeah, smash.
Last one, Justin Bieber.
I don't know why he seemed like he's like going through his black phase right now. He looking like the
came on stage with SZA the other night.
I was like, who light-skinned dude is that?
Light-skinned Justin.
He getting smashed.
Light-skinned Justin.
Yeah, light-skinned Justin. Not light-skinned Justin. He was looking, I wasn't sure it was Justin at first. I'm like, who is this good-looking light-skinned guy? Oh shit, it's Justin Bieber. Damn, he looked like he from the hood. Oh, you looking real urban.
He was closing his eyes and had a hand up too.
Yeah, I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn too. So listen, I know when I see
one. You know a little white man from Brooklyn.
Yeah, we're in a mix. He was in a mix. Okay, all right, Justin. Yeah,
Dashaun, that's it. Thank you so much for coming on.
You already know.
Oh my God, that was so fun. Tell us where we can find you on your socials and things.
All social platforms, Dashaun Wesley. Anything. And I'm a gamer as well too. So if you want to go watch me play on Twitch, I play Fortnite, Overwatch, and also Call of Duty. Yes.
Catch him on the stream, y'all.
Catch me on the stream.
Y'all, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta sweat that.